This week we read two Parshot, Parshat Tazria, Metzora. The Torah speaks in careful detail about the rhythms of the human body and about moments that mark change, birth, blood, healing, renewal. Among the verses we read, Ushloshim yom ushloshet yamim teshev bedam tahara. For 33 days she shall remain in her blood of purification. And later, Visha ki tiyeh zava shiv'at yamim tiyeh b'nidata v'chol hanogea ba yitma ad ha'erev. And again, Ve'el isha b'nidat tumata lo tikrav legalot elvata. These verses frame the Torah's version of kedusha, in a way holiness, through boundaries. They remind us that holiness is not constant closeness, but a rhythm of drawing near and stepping back, of separation and return. The laws of family purity are really laws of boundaries, sacred structures that help relationships and communities breathe, flourish, endure. In traditional Jewish life, a woman's monthly cycle included 5 days of menstruation, followed by 7 clean days. A time of mindful pause before immersing in the mikvah and returning to family life or to couple life. That immersion marked a renewal, a re-entry into intimacy and shared life. In childbirth, separation provided time for the body and spirit to regain strength, to be nurtured before rejoining the rhythms of home and community. These intervals of rest and reflection were not disengagement, but preparation. Spaces where love and connection could be strengthened through pause. Rabbi Dr. Sharon Shalom, writing about the Beta Israel of Ethiopia, shows how these practices shaped an entire community, their sense of holiness. Every Jewish village had a marjam gogo, a house of blood built into the village's edge. Women stayed there during menstruation or after childbirth, 7 days, 40 or 80, as the Torah prescribed. A stone wall encircled the hut, marking the boundary between the tahor and the tameh. Families brought food and left it beyond the wall or on the wall, care expressed through distance. When the period of separation ended, the woman immersed in the river and returned home, renewed, restored, and once again part of the communal rhythm. This system of clear boundaries held the community together. As Rabbi Shalom explains, the purity laws were not only about personal observance, they built communal distinctiveness and cohesion. The Marjam Gogo made holiness visible in the landscape, connecting private practice to public identity. In Yemen, similar wisdom took a different form. As Esther Muchavsky-Schnapper observed, after childbirth, a woman remained secluded for several weeks, surrounded by music, fragrance, and care. Her female friends visited her daily with coffee and sweets, filling her room with conversation and blessing. She sat behind the zoué, a triangular enclosure that symbolized modesty, separation, and sacred space. To those around her, she was like a queen, honored, protected, and given time to recover. That seclusion was not about exclusion, but about reverence, recognizing that moments of transition require quiet, beauty, and support. These traditions from Ethiopia and Yemen share a deep spiritual logic. By defining boundaries, the community builds connection. Time apart does not weaken relationships, it renews them. Separation creates the space where healing, reflection, and gratitude can grow. And perhaps that's a message we need especially today. In our fast-paced lives, boundaries often blur. We rarely let ourselves or others step back to allow us to rest, to reflect, to breathe. Yet the Torah reminds us that stepping back is part of love. We strengthen our relationships in families, in friendships, and communities, not only by being present, but by making room for each person's moments of retreat, to support another during their time away, to guard their space, their quiet, their healing. That too is an act of connection. When we learn to honor these rhythms, separation and reunion, silence and speech, solitude and closeness, we build communities that are whole and humane. We discover holiness not just in being together, but in knowing when to give space, when to wait, and how to return. Tazriah Metzora invites us, each of us, to find that rhythm within ourselves and beyond, to create communities that can both hold and release, protect and renew, until, like the woman emerging from the river, we re-enter life refreshed and ready to begin again. May we find our way back to each other and back to connecting.